Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I am going to be going over our lesson 7 today, but I will show you just the welcome slide just like I normally would. So, really quick, please make sure you're on task today. I've made sure to let the substitute know what we're doing today. You all have the agenda slide. Hopefully, that's how you knew to watch the video. At your seats so you can see exactly step by step what we're doing today in class. The agenda is on your table. So do me a favor. Make sure you understand that whatever is not finished today in lesson 7, you are finishing that at home. They are the exercises. What I would like you guys to finish if you don't get them done in class. So no gaming, please. Make sure we're focused because we can't slow down any more than we are. Just giving intentional time because I know we're already a little bit behind. Okay. So green booklets, please open up your green book to page 13 and you'll complete that just like a bell ringer. And then just like usual, after you're done with that, get out your purple topic B packet. Not the one that says topic A, but topic B. So pause me. Make sure you do page 13 and then unpause me to start talking about the lesson today. So I am looking at, or I thought I was, page 13. Bear with me. Okay. Here is page 13. It says, a restaurant used 231 eggs last week. Of these, 46 were brown in color. The remaining eggs were white in color. Which equation can be used to solve for W, the number of white eggs used last week? So the first thing that we have you guys do that we've been working on last week and this week, I think actually only this week, is marking up our text to help us find hints. So I am going to circle 231. This is my total. If your page 13 is not filled out, please make sure you're doing this with me. But I feel like at this point, this is our 5th day of working in this packet and really understanding how to attack and strategize any problem that you're given, right? So the first thing we do is we mark up our text. So my biggest number that I have in this problem will be 231 because that's how many they had last week. They used that many. Part of that 231, part of them were 46 brown eggs. The remaining ones that make up a total of 231, the other remaining ones were white. So it says which equation? Equation just means an equal sign. So in my head, before I even look at the answer choices, I write down how I would figure out what the remaining value was. So if I'm thinking, okay, that's the total. They already have 46 of those that are brown. So in my head, it's like this. How many white eggs were there? So I have 46 plus W equals 231. And I really didn't even look at this to check that. Some of you may have done this instead, which is actually how you would solve it. You would do this. Take the total, subtract the part I know, and that will give me the white eggs. Either way you do it, you will get that remaining number. But if you did write it like this, you would subtract 46 from both sides, and that would give you your remaining. But you did not need to solve it, if you noticed. Okay? All right. So you should be looking at your purple packet. I am going to have you turn to page, actually don't want to do that. Turn to page, there we go. Page 8 and 9 in lesson 6, because that was your homework. So let's take a look at pages 8 and 9 in lesson 6. Pause me if you need a minute to open up your purple packet. Remember, you're in topic B. It should say B on the top of your purple packet. So here was pages 8 and 9 in lesson 6. So I'm on page 8. It says decompose, that means break apart, the following shape in order to calculate the total area. So this shape right here is not an actual shape that we know. This is like, in my head, a Tetris piece. There's no shape that we can be like, oh, it's an upside down L, but that's not like a square or a circle or a triangle. It's irregular. So that's why we have to decompose or break these into two shapes that I know the formula for. Some of you may have broken apart here. So you have this top one, and then you have a separate bottom one. That's fine too. There are two ways that you can do this. I am cutting it vertically, but as long as you did the formula, regardless of where you cut it to make rectangles, when we add our two areas together, we should end up getting the same thing. So just because I decomposed it with this vertical line doesn't mean if you did it sideways, it's wrong. Okay? So yesterday we talked about labeling your shapes. A, B, C, however many you have. Now, if I had a rectangle that was mirrored on this side, that was the exact same as this one, same measurements, like a base of 3, a height of 5, I would say those are two A's. I'm using the same letter because it's the same shape and dimensions. That's what's important. Okay, so I decompose it here. So here is rectangle A, and here is rectangle B. And I'll even do those in different colors. Okay, so when I go to organize my formulas, you'll see that I'll write rectangle A and then rectangle B. So in your concept book, or just from memory at this point, we know that the area of a rectangle is base times height. Same thing as a square, same thing as a parallelogram. Lady, stop. Okay? So this is what I expect from your homework last night, right? Organization is amazing. Rectangle A, rectangle B. Yours probably said rectangle 1, rectangle 2. But in class yesterday, I talked about how we need to use letters. So if you don't have this as an A, cross the 1 out and write an A, cross the 2 out and write a B, please. So notice, I have 3 lines in each. The formula is always the first one. The substitution with the numbers are my second line. And then multiplying them together is my final answer. I have to make sure that I fix this right now, though, because this should actually say squared. How are we going to do that? I'll fix that. But these should say squared in the answer key, right? Because it's area. So once I get the area of A and B, I take these two areas because they're separate, right? And you have to add them together. So usually what you'll see me do is this, either here, doesn't matter really, but so 31 kilometers squared. So when you are finding the total area of a weird shape, you find the area separately of both individual shapes and then add those areas together. That's how I do it. So if you think about it this way, here's step 1, find the area of that one. Step 2, the area of that one. You could even do this if you want for step 3, add the areas together, or you can do it underneath. It's up to you. So take that area and that area and add it together. And that should give you your total area. Does this not? There it is. There you go. Okay. All right. If you did not have this and it's blank, please take the time right now to make sure you go back and look at what we just did and get it on your paper. So here is your base of 3. Here is your height of 7. Remember, 5 only stops here, so it can't be that 5. And then the same thing for shape B. I only need the length to go here and here. So 8 is not my base, 5 is, and my height here is 2. Okay? All right. Go to page 9. Sorry, I was like 9. Yes, this is a trapezoid. We know the trapezoid formula is in our concept book. We did dabble a little bit with the trapezoid, but you're not going to be given the trapezoid's formula on the state test. And not saying that the state test is perfect and amazing and that's what we're preparing for like all of 6th grade. No, not at all. But the easiest formulas to remember are the base times height for the square, rectangle, and parallelogram, and then the base times height divided by 2 for the triangle. That can carry you a lot in geometry. Okay? So what we did here was, yep, you could use the trapezoid formula, but I was asking for us not to. and to decompose it. So the height here is actually supposed to be dotted, but it's actually already creating that separation of our triangle compared to our rectangle. Okay? So I'm going to label this shape A, and I'm going to label this shape B. So when I go to organize my formulas below, right, they need to be organized. Now, some of you may be like, where did I get the 4.3? Well, I did this. I took the whole length of this shape is 12.9, but I also know here to here is 8.6. So here to here is 8.6. So I'm missing this part. So I'm saying, okay, 12 point whatever, 12.9 minus this will give me the remaining length. So the whole thing minus the part that I have will give me this bottom. That's how I got that. Okay. So I'm going to go down here to show you my work. So I did not need shape A and B. Yes, I needed. So rectangle A, triangle B. So again, 3 lines. Do you see it? The formulas, substituting in the numbers, and then adding multiplying the numbers, and then adding these two together. So adding that and that, because those are the areas. And again, yes, these should have squared. I got to figure out how to get those in there. Okay. So I finally add this one and this one together. Check your math. Maybe you did not solve for the length correctly. I'm not sure. But you have the area formula for a rectangle, area formula for a triangle, and then you add them together. So that's your final answer for B. I want you to pause for a minute and reflect. If you're sitting here saying, I don't understand this, pause me and go back, because it's very straightforward. Decomposing means breaking apart. I need to break apart a shape that doesn't have a formula. So here's my shape for rectangle and another rectangle by cutting it right here, decomposing it. And I'm just identifying the base and the height of each of these. Same thing for number on page 9. You're decomposing it into easy shapes that we know the formulas for. Okay? All right. So here's what we're doing today. You're working the rest of the period. I'm going to model a little bit, and then you guys are going to have a lot of time to practice. So here's our I can statement, our goals, our objective today. Same thing, use my resources to locate formulas I need. You need to know where these are, everybody. They're in the first cover, front cover of your, inside front cover of your either purple book that you use or the colored concept books in front of you. Got to help yourself. But we should honestly already know area equals base times height. Sorry, that's an A. Of a rectangle, triangle, or rectangle, square, and parallelogram. And base times height divided by 2 is your triangle. We should know those, okay? Determine the area of a shaded region using subtraction. So it's going to look a little bit different today, but I think you're going to be okay. So you can reference your agenda at your desk at any time, but we're going to head to lesson 7. So please get there. It is on page 12. Pause me and then come back. I am skipping page 12. Sorry, guys. Sorry, kiddos. That was my kiddo calling me. So sorry about that. I couldn't figure out how to pause it. But so we are learning how to figure out the shaded region, the area of just the shaded region of a couple shapes. So you're like, what? So what's crazy is that to do this, you want to find the area of the entire shape, usually first, and then the area of the shade, the white region that we want to take out, because we want to eliminate that, right? We want to I think about like a cake, and like this is a cake, but I want to remove this. So it's like, well, how do I know what the area is of this if I remove that? So it's a neat process. So here's the process. Take notes with me. I'm on page 13. So step 1, find the area of the whole rectangle, right? The whole shaded region, the whole thing. So please be with me. I'm just focusing on this outside shape. So my base would be 19, right? My height would be 17.4. So I plug it into my formula, as you can see right here. So base times height, I'm ignoring this right now. So step 1 is finding the area of the entire thing, the whole thing. So I do 19 on my calculator times 17.4. And I get, bear with me, 330.6. So 330.6 inches squared. But I'm not even worrying about that right now. The number is what matters. So the area of the big one is 330.6. Okay, got it. So I'm going to go like this to try to 330.6. Okay, so that's my first one, right? So I focus on that one. Then I do step 2. I find the area of the inside, the unshaded, the small part that I want to take out, right? Imagine cutting out that white piece. So now I want you to just focus. You can highlight this too, on that inside one. So now step 2 is we find the area of what we want to take out or eliminate. So this is my base, right? My base times my height. So I'm going to do 10 times 8.9 on my calculator. And I know that that is 89. Okay, so write that down. So again, formula of the whole thing, area of the whole thing, area of the part that you're going to take out. So I'm plugging those formulas in. So now I'm looking at this number plus this number. Sorry, not plus. Holy moly, holy buckets. No. Now you take both of those areas in subtraction. You subtract the two areas. So you take and find the area of the whole thing, which we did. Here's my formula. The whole thing minus the area of this guy. So area of the outside minus the area of the inside. Okay? So I'm going to do 330.6 minus 89. Come on. 330.6 minus 89. And obviously I would double check this a couple times. 241.6. So the inside of this shaded area is 249.6. What is it? Inches squared, because I can't find the little 2 right now. So if you guys were to write this in your packets, it would look like this. Inches squared. So this concept is not, oh my gosh, it's a new topic. We're doing area twice. We're doing area of the whole thing minus the area of the part that I'm taking out. So I'm doing area twice. That's all I'm doing. I'll do one more. And then you guys are doing exercises 2 through 7. Okay? I already did exercise 3. So after I do this next example, I'm going to have you guys pause me and work the rest of the class period on exercises 2 through 7. You have this printout on your desk, and it tells you exactly what to do, okay? So let's do it. Here's example 2. Find the area of the shaded triangle. So again, it's a triangle this time. So step 1, find the area of the whole thing, right? So I'm going to highlight the area of the whole thing. I'm not even paying attention to that. So it's a triangle, right? So my first step is write my formula. Base times height divided by 2. Now I plug in my numbers, substitution. So I do base of 25, height of 36. So 25, write this with me, times 36 divided by 2. So on my calculator, so again, area of the outside minus the area of the inside that you're taking out. So on my calculator, I'm going to type in 25 times 36 divided by 2. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do 25 times 36. There's my answer, divided by 2 because it's a triangle. 450. So I have the area of the triangle outside is 450 inches squared. Circle it because you'll have to subtract something in a minute, right? Minus, let's do the area of the inside triangle now. Goodness gracious. So we're going to find the inside now. So now I'm just focusing on the inside. Still a triangle, right? So that's why base times height divided by 2. So base is 14, height is 21. So that's what I'm going to plug in. 14 times 21, base times height, divided by 2. So on my calculator, I'm doing 14 times 21 divided by 2. Oh my gosh. 14. But you got to remember to divide by 2. If you don't, you're doing the wrong formula. So my answer for the small one is 147. So my small area is 147 miles squared. Sorry, I thought it was inches. Sorry, that's a squared. So now I take the area of the outside triangle minus the inside of the inside triangle. But you know what stinks is I forget what my number was. 14 times, what is it? 25 times 36, sorry. 25 times 36 divided by 2. Oh, it was 450. Okay. So 450 minus whatever we just found for this one. It stinks it doesn't save it. Goodness gracious. So what was that? Sorry, guys. 14 times 21 divided by 2. 147. So 450 minus 147. Area of the big outside, area of the inside, subtract it. So I can't do that. 10 minus 7, 9, 8, 7 is 3, 0, 3. So I'm pretty sure the area of the outside triangle is 303 miles squared. Check my math. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's the math for those two because I did divide. Okay, so check in with me for a minute. In order to find the shaded region, you have to take the area of the outside minus the area of the inside that you're trying to take out. So you're finding area twice and subtracting the two. So you guys, for the rest of the period, you're here. You have this on your table. If you finish exercises 2 through 7, I want you to check the answer key because my video is running really long. So check the answer key when you're done. Okay? I'll show you where that is in a minute. When you're done and you're done checking the answer key, you're following this. Raise your hand to show the sub that and turn your pages to show them that you're done and you've written everything out and you have the answer, because otherwise I asked your sub not to give you this coloring activity sheet. Okay? So your job right now is right here. Practice time. Working on exercises 2 through 7. Area of the outside minus area of the inside. That's all you're doing. Okay? Here is where your answer key is. It's in Schoology. So I'll show you where in Schoology it is. You guys should know where it is already because it's in the Unit 5 folder. And I'm sorry it's taking a long time, but it's in the Unit 5 folder under Lesson Answer Keys. Okay? So you guys can stop my video if you know where the answer keys are. There it is, Unit 5. It's right here. Lesson Answer Keys. Okay? So please be awesome, Spartans. I miss your faces already, but clearly you can hear me. This is day 11 of this throat thing, and it's finally starting to hurt. So definitely message me if you guys have questions, but rewatch parts of the video if you're stuck. All right, kiddos. I will see you on Monday. Your quiz is next week. It is obviously not today. I'm sending an email right now to let home and them know that we're pushing it to next Tuesday for your quiz on this stuff. All right, guys. Have a good weekend.